What is it that you actually need to do in order to start generating real business changing traffic to your website? The disappointing answer is there's a lot of things that you have to do. Hey, everybody. Hope your day is going well. Dave Shrine here. I want to talk a little bit about Google Webmasters, and actually really what it leans into is I want to speak to you about transforming your website into a traffic magnet. And I'll start off by telling a story. There was a platform that I was a part of, group, a community, a membership site that I was a part of a while back. And one of the major topics that people always brought up in this online entrepreneurial digital business course membership site was, how do I actually get SEO traffic? And they always wanted to talk about SEO. They always wanted to talk about, how do I actually get organic visitors to my website, because one day I'm going to monetize and I want to have all this traffic. And it was a conversation that just kept coming up over and over and over again. And it felt like no matter how much the moderators and the leaders of this membership site went in and tried to satiate that demand, people just kept asking more and more and more. And what it really pointed to was a fundamental misunderstanding of what SEO, search engine optimization, and SEM, search engine marketing, really meant. It was more of I want to flip a switch and have my site gain hundreds of visitors, rather than I want to turn my website into an asset, into a resource that can be used to promote my business. And so what you wound up having was a lot of tactical things that would be recommended. And so if you run a blog, you might have heard things like this. Oh, you need to be publishing once every single week, and your posts need to be at least 400 words long, and you need to write for the keyword that you want to rank for. And so that was kind of the thing that people would start to aim for. Is like, okay, I'm going to publish once a week. I'm going to write 400 words, and I'm going to pick one particular term that I want to rank for. And so you'd sit down and you'd do that. And if you didn't do it, you'd start feeling guilty about it, and you'd be like, oh man, I haven't been publishing, and that must be why my website's not getting that many visitors. And so you'd have people saying, I'm publishing every single day, I'm publishing, or every single week, and I'm putting out good content, which that's such a loaded term. We won't get into that right now, but I'm putting out good content and my traffic isn't growing. And so they'd go back to the drawing table looking for a particular solution, a silver bullet, if you will, for how to actually generate real organic SEO traffic to their website that made a difference for their business. And a lot of people, they stay in that place. They never make adjustments, they never make changes, and they never actually see the results in their business that they want. So what is it that you actually need to do in order to start generating real business changing traffic to your website? The disappointing answer is there's a lot of things that you have to do. It's not a one solution. Do this and it works. It's really a multitude. There's really a lot of steps that you need to take in order to answer that question. Yesterday, I got on with an intern that's working for one of my clients. He said, hey, would you just get on and do a real broad overview of organic traffic and educate educate my new intern on what it takes to actually move the needle when it comes to search engine optimization. And he wanted me to do that because that's what we had done. My company, Shrine Media, that's what we had done for his business. Basically, we took them from, 400, 500 organic visits per month, and now it's up to like 4,000, 5,000, something like that. And it was because of a whole lot of different steps that we took. It's not a one size fits all, one big, make this change, flip this switch, and all of a sudden you've got all this visits. It's a lot of different things. And so what we did was I opened up a tool that I use. It's called Ahrefs. And I said, let's start by just figuring out, what do we believe will change the business, will generate more income? If people come to our website looking for, and then fill in the blank, they'll be led to make a purchase. And so I came up with a term and I said, okay, let's search this term. So we popped the term in on Google, we looked, and there were a few results, but I said, what we want to do is we actually want to scroll down to the bottom. So when you go to Google, if there's a term that you believe, if I can get visitors coming to my website who are interested in this term, it will be a natural segue into my email list. It'll be a natural segue into my products, my services. It'll be a natural segue into the communities that I'm starting. So you identify a word or a term, a phrase, a keyword phrase that will actually transition them from being, I'm getting the answer that I need, into, wow, this really has everything that I'm looking for, or this is going to take me to the place where I get everything that I need. So you identify that word. So we picked one word, and if it was fitness, we picked a term that was something along the lines of lose weight in 30 days. Okay, so lose weight in 30 days. So we typed that in. Obviously, that's going to be a really, really competitive keyword. So when we got there, we scrolled down to the bottom of Google and we looked at the other searches people were interested in, related searches. So we went through that list and we found another keyword that was not as, widely targeted as, lose weight in 30 days. And it was more along the lines of, pick out a loosely related keyword. It was more along the lines of, how does the body lose weight? Now, that's not going to be targeted as much as lose weight in 30 days. So we grab that keyword. Then we go over into a tool called Ahrefs. There's another one called SEMrush, ahrefs.com. It's ahrefs.com and then semrush.com. And what these tools do is they actually let you know if targeting a particular keyword is going to be profitable for your business. So we took that keyword, how does the body lose weight? We went over to Ahrefs. We popped that into a keyword search. And what Ahrefs does is it shows you, hey, there's an estimated X number of searches on Google in the United States every single month for this term. And we looked, and it was 60. Now, if we're about to drop a lot of time and a lot of money to target a particular keyword, we're going to want more than 60 visitors looking for that keyword every single month. 60 visitors is not going to change your business. So in Ahrefs, they've got a great little feature that says other suggested keywords. There's keywords that use the same phrases. So what you start to do is going from, I think that people looking for this term are going to want to use my business, to, wow, there are 60, there are 100, there are 300, there are 500 people searching this term every single month. And here are the related keyword searches that they're going after. You go from guessing at what's going to draw traffic to actually knowing what traffic you have a potential to garner. So as you start looking through these tools, what you'll find is that there's different difficulty levels for each keyword. And so pick whatever keyword is in your niche, whether it's leadership. If you're running a coffee shop, pick keywords around coffee shop. If you're running an education site, an info site, pick a keyword around the content marketing, whatever the case might be. And you start going through and you see that some of these, they have a difficult level of, Ahrefs does from 1 to 100. They have a difficulty level of 10. Let's get straight here. They have a difficulty level of 10. And then another one's going to have a difficulty level of 30. And then another one of 50, and then another one all the way up of 70. Well, you want to find, unless you've got tons of backlinks coming to your website, unless you've got tons of people who are backlinking to your website, you want to find the ones that have a difficulty level of 1 or 0 or maybe 2. Because that means there's less competition to rank for those keywords. You're only going to need 1 backlink, or you're only going to need 3 backlinks for that particular keyword. And so what happens is you start going through and you start looking at, okay, here's 15 words, and Ahrefs, I'm going to do a webinar here in the next 2 weeks. Ahrefs actually has a list of all these keywords, and they show you the difficulty. And so you say, okay, only show me those keywords that have a difficulty of 0 to 2. And all of a sudden, your list of 500 possible search results goes all the way down to, 200. And then you say, okay, only show me the keywords, the key phrases that contain this specific word. So if we're looking at that, how does the body lose weight? Now we're going to minimize that keyword search and those related keywords down to body lose weight. And so now you go from 200 possible suggestions all the way down to 100. And so now you look and you've got 100 words that are, 2 words, 3 words, 4 words, 5 words, maybe even 6 words that have a difficulty rating of up to 2 that you can target. Now, each word may only have 10 views per month, 10 searches per month, 20 searches, 40 searches. But if you can rank for 60 of those terms, all of a sudden that 10 times 60, that's 600. And if you can rank for 50 of them and half of them have 10 and the other half have 20, so now you've got 250, and now you've got what, 20, 250, 150, that's 400 possible search terms that you could show up for. So search engine optimization is not just coming and picking one particular keyword and going after it. It is writing to target an entire subject on one specific idea, right? So you're saying how the body loses weight. You're going to target, 40 keywords that are related to that. And then over the course of the next 2, 3, 4, 5 months, your website will now be ranking for 20, 30, 40, 50 more keywords than it was before. I've started producing articles. I've started producing long articles. One article is on the 28 best webinar promotion graphics. And so it's like a 2,000 word article with 28, I think there's like 35 different graphics. And that's been optimized for SEO. And I've written, and it's already ranking for 10 terms, and I produced it like 2 weeks ago. It's ranking for 10 keywords. Haven't sent any traffic to it. I haven't driven any backlinks to it. It's just starting to happen on its own. There's another one that I did, which was unlimited graphic services reviews. And it's a training piece on how to use unlimited graphic services. That piece is already ranking for 30 keywords. And so slowly but surely, I'm producing all this content to build up an SEO footprint. Now, maybe there's some things I could do better. Great. I'm going to improve on it over time. But right now, my goal is to just get it into Google, get it into Bing, get it into DuckDuckGo, get it into Yahoo, so that it can start indexing. So as soon as there are some authority indicators that point to my website as, hey, this is a good website, traffic coming back to it, social shares, backlinks, domain referrals, as soon as those start coming, then Google's like, we've already got it in the system. Let's push this stuff to the top because people are starting to link to it. And that is really, hey, if you're like, man, this was not a sweet, this was not a short, this wasn't a compact, talk on search engine marketing or on SEO or search engine optimization. Well, yeah, because there's not a simple question. There's a course that I paid, I think it's coming out to $4,000, something like that I paid for last year, that I'm going through to learn all this stuff. And the course takes months to go through. So if you're approaching your business SEO in terms of, hey, I'm just going to publish an article and that's going to move the needle for me, and that's really going to do what I need it to do, and you're not putting in hours of learning, you're not researching, you're not crafting outlines for your articles, you're writing short little 400, 600 word pieces, you're not going to see the results that you want. There's always anomalies and there's always exceptions, but by and large, it's not a way to plan. If you get awesome results from doing minimal work by happenstance, great, good for you. But that's not the way to plan to grow your business online. So thank you so much. If you were watching the replay, I appreciate you making it all the way to the end. If you have anything that I can help you with, please let me know. I want to empower you to actually move the needle for your business. I want to empower you to create content marketing campaigns and solutions that actually convert. I want to see you succeed. And so if there's anything I can do, please find me over on Twitter at Dave Shrine. Let me know that you're watching. Let me know what you enjoy. Let me know what you'd like to hear next, because you are going to be the one that dictates what I do and what that empowerment looks like. So would love to hear from you. Thank you again. God bless. We'll talk soon, and make it a great day.